Okie dokie, we're live. Many of you are already in the chat room here. We were trying to get little T connected. That was the delay there. We could not get the technology to work on her end because she's pretty fired up right now about this Auburn team. He is Jim Dunaway. I'm Ryan Brown. It's the post-game party. Thank you for joining us. Little T wants to try again. Dunaway, I mean, we just want to try this live here.
I think it's entertaining watching her try to get on.
Yeah,
I can hear y'all.
Oh, we can hear you now, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah. Auburn just got destroyed by LSU. That's what happened.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Oh, why am I upside down?
Oh, no.
You get inside the box. There you
go. Yeah.
Nice jersey, though. I like the jersey.
Yeah.
Always. Fridays and Saturdays. Or Saturdays that I'm around here, I guess. But
it's like the Heisman House commercial on Bath Day. We'd be putting you in the washer saying, "Ooh, T, you stink," and putting you in the washer like they do.
That's what I'm saying to Auburn right now. Ooh, you stink.
Yeah,
but like, with more profanity, rough. Probably.
That was rough to watch, little T. What? I mean, what? I don't know where they go from here. I don't know. I think you got to go to Ashford, honestly.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't you?
I was confused as to why I don't remember what drive. I think it was the end of the third quarter. Robbie has the offense moving. Then they pull him and put Peyton Thorne back. Like,
no, it was right before the half. It was the end of the second quarter. Dunaway. Ashford's actually got some forward momentum, gets them out to midfield, and you go to Thorne, and it's
dead, awful, dead, awful. Like, I'm sorry, what? I'm like. It's so frustrating. And Hugh Freeze hasn't been there for long, and I'm not like we need players. We need players. And if Walker White isn't what I think he's going to be, then I might go crazy. But we don't have a playmaker in my eyes.
I agree with you. Your roster is not full of playmakers, and what you guys were able to do with Georgia, I thought was just brilliant coaching and gutsy effort by the team. You can't do that every week, though. So you're going to have days like this. It's sort of like guerrilla warfare right now with Auburn. You just got to pick your battles and see if you can beat somebody, like maybe Alabama at Jordan-Hare Stadium. You almost got Georgia at Jordan-Hare Stadium on the road in Baton Rouge against this offense, the way they score. It was going to be hard to keep up with them, and getting behind, 17-0 before you could even get scoring. It was going to be a tough task with the way, Auburn plays offensive football right now.
We don't play offensive football.
That's the problem. Yes.
It's like
I was using that term as a definition, not literally.
It is so frustrating. It's more frustrating watching with my friends that probably couldn't name like two players on the team that don't really care about football, because I'm like, I am in a state of rage and anger right now, and I'm like, you don't really care. But
would you please, just real quick before you move on from that, tell everyone and Brown what your friends said at the start of the Oregon-Washington game?
So this morning I'm at a friend's house and game day's on the TV. They were talking about the Oregon-Washington game and started talking about, they started talking about Bo Nix. I don't know what they were talking about, but they started talking about him. My friend goes, why are they talking about Bo Nix, when they're in regard to the Oregon game? And I just was silent. I was like, you're going to say something else. Oh, he doesn't play for Auburn anymore? I thought he was the Auburn quarterback. I'm like, I was like, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. Like, I don't understand how people can care so little about something that is so important to...
Here's the text. Look at the bottom of the text she sent us. It's got the head exploding emojis.
I know.
Yeah. Wait, Bo Nix doesn't play for Auburn anymore? I'm like, as of a long time ago, yeah. I would love if he did now. With the coach.
Auburn can use him.
Yeah, with the coach that can develop quarterbacks, that would be great.
Yeah. Ask her how she likes the gas prices in 2021.
How? I mean, what does Thorne do better than Ashford?
Literally not. Like, he doesn't do anything. He has one or two. It reminds me of Lunsford's tweet from earlier when he was said something about Alabama's offense. He's like banging my head against the wall, banging my head against the wall, banging my head against the wall. Oh my God, there's a good deep ball, and then goes back to banging my head against the wall. That's the same thing with Peyton Thorne in my eyes. It's like he'll have a good play once every solar eclipse or what, like whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Good use of current events.
That's right.
I like that.
Little too. Good job.
It's not often. It's like, yeah, he'll do something great very rarely.
Yeah.
And other than that, he does nothing, but it's negative. It is half of it's negative yardage. And I was about to throw my phone through the TV. I mean, I could I don't know what I would do different, but something.
Well, Dunaway, I tweeted at halftime, you got to give the second half to Ashford. I mean, what are you getting out of Thorne? And I had Auburn fans like, well, you got to have the threat of a pass. I'm like, you think LSU's worried about Thorne throwing the football?
Well, I mean,
no.
Jesse Palmer even said
that 5 yards over a receiver's head. Yeah. As I am as well.
Well, I'm not even sure he's making the right reads all the time either. There's a couple of times early on that felt like coach was chewing his ass out when he came off the field too. Like, why didn't you throw it to that guy? It's another guy open. I could just see that conversation happening between him and Hugh a couple of times. Yeah, why not? Why not try Robbie? Because Peyton's not working. It's not working. On a night like this, what was the final? 41-18?
I don't
48.
48-18.
Yeah.
On a night like this, why not just turn it over to Robbie?
Yeah.
He ended up being like 3 or 4 passing, 52 yards.
Yeah, what a stat.
Yeah.
At halftime, we'd I don't even know what it was, but it was nauseating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Thorne was 12 of 23, 102. I mean, it's clear. I mean, Ashford runs better than Thorne. Am I the only one that sees that? That Ashford obviously the better of the two runners, right?
I think to me, he looks more athletic, speaking generally. He, if he's in a sticky situation, if you were to put the both of them in a sticky situation, I would feel more confident in Robbie getting out of it using his legs.
Let me see if I can put this in a nutshell for you, little T. Robbie Ashford can only do so much. Excuse me, Peyton Thorne can only do so much. With Robbie Ashford, it may be really good, but it may really suck. But you're ready to ride that roller coaster again, like you did last year.
I just don't I mean, I don't have confidence in anything. I'm gonna ride with my boys, with my team, but I don't have confidence in anything. But when Peyton, I get super excited when he might have one good play every game. I don't know. He had a good run Georgia weekend, but it's stuff like that. It's I don't expect that from him.
Well,
for Robbie, I feel like there's more. I have more hope with Robbie than I do with Peyton.
Right. To Jesse's point, he said you got to have a threat of a pass, but with Peyton Thorne in there for most of the night, Auburn ran the ball for 139 yards. So it wasn't like they were respecting the pass, to your point, Brownie, at all. So why not make a change?
Yeah.
It's hard. I'm watching 6 games at one time when Auburn was playing, and it was hard to go back to that screen and sit there and go, okay, I've got to watch this because we cover Auburn a lot. It's a tough watch, but I'll be honest, Alabama's offense is not always a fun offense to watch either. You sit there and watch that. You sit there and watch that a Washington-Oregon game, and you're like,
I know.
Man, I remember the good old days when we used to have good offensive football here in our state.
I can't remember the good old days when we had good offense. So thankful.
Here's the thought. Here's Bobby. The problem with Ashford is he can't hit the broadside of a barn. And that's what everybody says about Ashford. Well, he just can't throw the ball. I'm like, watch Peyton Thorne. He can't.
Yeah, he can't really either.
He can't throw the ball. I don't know why. You don't have Here's the thing. You don't have a quarterback who can throw the ball. You don't. You can't. No. You don't have a passing offense. There's no passing out of Auburn. So you're basically going to have to run a service academy offense the rest of the year, or just keep getting beat. One of the two. I don't know which one.
And we don't really have receivers that are going to make incredible catches either. So it's the passes aren't always super accurate, or ever maybe, but it's you don't have that one receiver that is going to make a make that incredible catch. You know, like we don't have the Keon Coleman that I wish so badly that we had. But it's like it could be not the greatest pass, but you have that playmaker. We don't have that on the quarterback or wide receiver side of this massive issue.
Do you guys know who Miller Moss is?
I do not, Jim. Who's Miller Moss?
He is the guy that has now come in for Caleb Williams as the backup quarterback at USC. That's how bad Notre Dame is beating USC.
By 28, Notre Dame just got Notre Dame just got a scoop and score to make it 48-20.
Miller Moss is in the game.
This has been a massive failure. People are asking where Lance is. We're letting him. I don't know if he's still watching this.
Where is it? I wonder how he's doing.
We told him, hey, you finish up USC, we'll start the show. I don't know what kind of state of mind he's going to be in after this.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll join us. Taylor, what would you put the odds of him actually joining us on this thing tonight?
Slim to none.
Yeah, me too.
He's got to be upset. I mean, 48-20. This is a massive failure by USC, and Caleb Williams has been downright atrocious. I mean, on a day where a lot of people, Dunaway, were talking about the Heisman Trophy frontrunner getting decided, and Michael Penix and Bo Nix being on the front of the stage, and maybe a Caleb Williams or a Drake May or somebody like that stealing the show. Michael Penix stole the show, and Caleb Williams might have played his way right out of it in one fell swoop. I'm
not sure Bo Nix fell out of contention.
I don't think he did.
But Michael Penix definitely took the lead over. He passed Bo Nix, and I think maybe both of them were already ahead of Caleb because Caleb had already won it. Drake May, their team is winning it, but he hasn't really wowed me tonight. But he's definitely in the conversation.
I'll tell you who had a good day sitting on a couch is Dylan Gabriel.
That's right.
Sitting on the couch today, his stock went up.
Yeah, after last week, T, you got to think that drive to come back and beat Texas and what he did in that game puts him in the lead for the Heisman Trophy. So, what do you do after a loss? How do you get all this built up energy out? Like, do you walk? Do you burn things? Do you break things? Do you eat? Do you eat your sorrow, your anger?
Liquor.
Oh, how deep are you right now there, little T?
I don't know.
What's your liquor of choice after an Auburn loss?
I actually have a bottle of Dobel Diamante here with me.
Did you get that out of the office?
Yeah, I'm saving money. Saving money.
It's yours. They supply the whole staff. It's yours.
So you rolling with tequila tonight?
Well, I'm drinking a beer right now, but at about halftime, I took a shot or two because I was like, I have to
just to take the edge off. Yeah,
I gotta take. I mean, it's painful, and the thing is, I didn't go into this game thinking that we were gonna win. I wasn't extremely confident, but it doesn't hurt any less. Like none of the Brian Harsin era losses hurt less than we should have lost probably. I mean, we should have lost every game that we lost, plus maybe a few more, but it doesn't make it any better in my eye.
Well, and here's the problem, Dunaway. This Auburn team I watched today, they got a couple wins still left in them, but I don't know that they can beat Ole Miss. Not playing the way they played today. Now, the game's in Auburn, but if they play the way they play today, they lose to Ole Miss. State's in Auburn. They should beat State, right?
They should beat State, yeah. I mean, it's not I don't think it's a given. Just like I said, it wasn't when you guys were like Alabama should be good to, till the LSU game. I was like, dude, Alabama's not good against anybody on their schedule. Maybe Chattanooga. Other than that, everything's a battle. Everything's a battle, man. Yep. Everything's a battle.
Auburn's at Vandy. I mean, Vandy played with Georgia today, but I mean,
if we lose to Vandy,
you'll what?
You would have. I think
you'll what? Shave your head?
I don't know.
Dye your hair. Dye your hair blonde.
That would just be bad for everyone involved. That just doesn't happen.
Let me say this: if Vandy played the way they did against Georgia today, and Auburn played the way they did against LSU, you would lose the game. Now, I wouldn't come to work for probably a week. Yeah. I would be mourning.
Don't punish us. Don't punish us.
I would work from home. But I probably couldn't speak to anyone in the public for a while.
Yeah. Notre Dame fans rushing the field after this win. How about that?
Oh, So it's not just Alabama, Dunaway, that they do that after.
Everybody does it now, sadly. I mean,
it's getting overdone.
It
really is.
Eyes.
It is. Like, I was okay when Air Force did it because, they defend us. So I'm like, whatever you dudes want to do, that's cool with me. Thank you for your service. How about Troy going up and spanking Army, shutting out Army at West Point, and then shaking their hands out, like all the service people thanking them, and they were walking in the stands thanking the U.S. soldiers after the game. They were like, "Thank you for your service. Thank you guys for what you do."
That's good. That's respectful.
Oh, it was really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry,
cool.
We just beat you 26-0.
Yeah, John Summerall runs a good program. He's a good coach.
I think so too. What a good win for Notre Dame and Marcus
good
Freeman.
win for Notre Dame. They destroyed USC and
Lance Taylor's ego, probably.
Yeah, well, I mean, this clearly puts Washington. I know this is not a Pac-12 game, but clearly puts Washington as the favorite in the Pac-12. I think you got to say coming out of today, Dunaway.
Well, I mean, all of a sudden, though, I mean, now USC's got a loss, Oregon's got a loss.
Oh,
everybody's got a loss, but Washington. Now we start thinking, if Washington loses to USC, and then we can start eliminating teams at some point. It may open the door for 2 Big Ten teams to get in here.
I tell you though, it's going to be hard to think you don't see USC and Oregon play again, or excuse me, Washington and Oregon play again.
I mean, would you 100% say Washington beats USC? I would not.
Oh, I would. Oh, Michael Penix will carve them up. Where is
the game day? Whatever. I don't know what they were doing. Dunaway tweeted the clip.
Oh yeah, Desmond.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was a little uncomfortable.
Do you think he didn't know what he was doing, or was just mispronouncing Penix?
I think he knew what he was doing.
I don't. That's why I'm like, was he confused? What's going on there?
Yeah.
I mean, some people. I mean, obviously, you're making a play on that by saying big energy.
Yeah.
Big penis energy.
But he said it over and over and over and over, and it's not like.
But some people do mispronounce their X's as S's sometimes, so maybe that's just his default way of saying X. Yeah.
Like on national TV, though, I'm like, brother, come on now.
Yeah, I agree. But in the end, he was right.
He was right. Yeah, that guy was he was really, really good today. Bo Nix wasn't bad though, to your point, but 22 of 37, 302, 4 touchdowns and a pick.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Little T, I'd like to know what you think of Dan Lanning. Did you like him being aggressive and not taking those field goals before the half and or twice in the game and saying we're going for it and not getting them? Or would you like your coach to take 3 points anytime you can get them?
I think it depends on where in the game you are. Obviously, looking back on it now, yeah, you would have, as a Oregon fan, you probably would have liked to see that happen. But I think, for example, like tonight, if that was Auburn, LSU, and we were getting slaughtered like we were, probably go for it because a field goal really isn't going to change much.
Right.
But in that close of a game, and especially like after once.
Well, but the problem was, Little T, once you did it at the end of the half, you pretty much committed to doing it the rest of the game.
You'd already told everybody in the nation, we came to play, we came to be aggressive. So if there's a conservative thing I'm called on to do today, I'm not going to do it because, damn it, I planted my flag in being aggressive today.
But is that an ego thing?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like this, Little T. He said, so he doesn't do it before the half, and they're getting the ball out. So you take, they gave you 3 free points is what they did.
And you're getting the ball. Makes it a 1-point game.
Right.
And you're getting the ball coming out. Well, you don't get it, and then you don't do anything with your drive out. So now you're in trouble. Now you battle back and you take the lead. And now it's 4th and short, and they're in plus territory on your side of the 50, and you don't punt it. Well, at that point, you've already done all this stuff of not kicking field goals. So you're already like, well, I guess if I kick it now, I'm going to look like I'm choosing vanilla over chocolate and strawberry, right? So I better do something. We have bored Little T.
That's a battery issue right there. But Dunaway, I really could not believe he coached it that way. And then,
are you fully off of him now as Alabama's next coach?
I was halfway joking. You know that. I'm not fully off of him, but boy, that is a mismanagement of a game. He completely gave that game away.
Well, he did this game last year too.
Yeah.
Remember? He went for it on fourth down in his own territory and gave him the lead.
Yeah. I did not, little T just texted me that her iPad died, so she's done with us.
No, we were getting too footballish for her anyway.
Yeah.
We could tell. I could tell she was bored.
So you're down one if you kick right at the break right there. And as you pointed out, getting the ball when you come out. So now you leave it at 4, you go 3 and out, they drive down and score. Now you're down 11. So the next time he got down there, he had to go for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was, I mean,
unless you're man enough to say, I was probably wrong the first time. I'm gonna go ahead and take these 3 points this time.
But even all that, even with that attitude, the whole 4th and 2 at midfield there at the end of the game with a banged up Penix, he's hurt, right? I mean, he's kind of a sitting duck back there, and you give him the ball at midfield rather than pin them down. I just did not like that at all.
Yeah, I will tell you of the degrees of things that bothered me the most. Going for it on 4th and 2 was the least. Taking the field goals, and I've just watched Saban do it for years and years. That man rarely turns down 3 points.
Exactly.
He rarely turns down 3 points.
Right.
He's like, hey, 3 points. We'll take those 3. Let's go play defense, try to get the ball back and see if we get 3 more. He takes those 3 points like they're gold. But at the end, I'm like, okay, here's our choices. 4th and 2. And if we get the first down, and I've got Bo Nix, he's 52 years old with years of experience. And he does. He makes a lot of great decisions. So it's 4th and 2. And if we get it, it's over with. Or am I going to kick it back and make them go longer? But still, I'm just giving it back to Michael Penix and those great receivers, and we've got to make a stop. So that one doesn't bother me as much as not taking the 3s. Going for a 4th and 2, at least at that point, I'm saying my best thing is Bo Nix and my offense, and we're going to try to get 2 yards. And if we get 2 yards, the game's over with. Me punting it there, giving it back to him at that point, then, we still got to go play defense. Even if I pin them at the 1, they could still go 99 with Michael Penix. Be harder than it was going 48.
All right, so let me transition, because to me, the opposite of that was the way Sam Pittman coached against Alabama. You've got a 4th and inches when you're down 24-6 with a 300-pound quarterback that Alabama clearly cannot tackle. You pass up on that one and punt.
He's begging you to go for it. I mean,
that's right.
He's like, let's go. And he's frustrated when you decide to punt.
And then Dunaway, late in that game, the play that changed the game was the face mask. When he's running it on 3rd and 8, he's going to run and punt. And Alabama commits a face mask and bails him out. And for whatever reason, that's what woke up Arkansas. That game, if there's no face mask, that game is absolutely over. He was giving Alabama the ball back and surrendering at that point. I could not believe he coached, and then his team got him back in the game. And now you've coached so conservative that you've got such a big hole to climb out of. I didn't understand that
100%. If I was an Arkansas fan, I was sitting there watching going, is there a chance if we were not paying him so much money, I would say he's lining himself up to be Nick Saban's offensive line coach next year, because he's doing a lot of nice things for Nick Saban in this game by not being aggressive. But then as they got into it, when they made it 24-21, I thought to myself, well, he played this perfect. He was conservative. He never panicked, and they've got a chance here at the end. They end up losing. So I don't know who was right on that, the way he played it, but I know KJ Jefferson wanted to go. And how about Alabama getting in and actually doing the Philly play, the push like Jalen does? Jalen Hurts. They did it with Jalen Milroe, and it worked out.
I don't know why you wouldn't. Kid's a big kid, right?
Yeah, went perfect down on the goal line. Yeah. And you just wonder why Arkansas wouldn't do that with KJ Jefferson in that situation.
Yeah. I believe Lance is with us now, so we'll bring Lance in.
Fantastic. Yeah. Saves the show. This saves the show right here.
We have not gotten to. We have intentionally saved Texas A&M Tennessee for Lance. He is with us still in the Southern Cal hat, who was just undressed on national TV. Lance, that was a tough one, I know, but I don't think believe this team was a national championship contender anyway.
No, I didn't. This is one of those games you got to get, though. And Caleb Williams, I've never seen him play as bad of football as he played in the first half.
Yeah. 3 interceptions. I mean, that's baffling to me. 3 interceptions out of him tonight.
Well, and they weren't just, like sometimes you look at a box score and you're like 3 interceptions. They were terrible throws. His first interception was 2 feet over his primary receiver, who was 12 feet or 12 yards down the field. First down, goes 2-3 yards over that guy. It was a terrible performance. They didn't show up, and I don't get it, because this is one of those situations. Notre Dame's a good team. Got to win that game. You can't run the table on the Pac-12. So if you have any opportunity in making a run to play for the Pac-12 championship, not that game factors into the standings, but if you can't win that game, it's going to be a long season.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying to Dunaway, Lance. And I know it doesn't factor in the Pac-12 standings, but when you watch today, it's abundantly clear to me Washington is a more complete team than USC. I think Oregon probably is too. I mean, those two teams look like elite level teams playing one another today. And then you see USC and they just don't look ready to be elite right now.
And I'll tell you this, one of the things in USC really, Alex Grinch, Lincoln Riley, all these guys, they know their offense is good. They wanted the defense to play well. And their defense played well. But their offense put them in terrible situations. When you throw a pick six, you have a scoop and score, and you're -5 in turnovers on the road against a top 25 team, you can't win. So, I thought the defense played much better tonight. I mean, you look at total yards. Notre Dame was 3 of 10 on third downs, 213 total yards, and 13 first downs. That's
good enough.
Offense, you should win that game by double digits.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree 100% with that. The defense was good enough tonight. Wasn't easy for Notre Dame to move it, and USC just didn't hold up their end of the bargain offensively.
Hey, let's look at these numbers real quick.
Okay.
Because I wasn't paying attention to it. I was like completely focused, and I had people over here, and they were talking. And I was trying to, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I was trying to watch this game, and so I wasn't really keeping up with the numbers. But Caleb Williams to go 23 of 37, 199 yards. We talked about Auburn's quarterbacks going sub 100 for all those games. 199 for Caleb Williams is like 80 for any other quarterback. 1 touchdown and 3 picks. I mean, just a terrible night for USC football. We'll move on from USC. I changed at halftime. Went through. Me and Maddie both did wardrobe changes. Didn't work out. So watch for the superstition.
Yeah. Well, they're probably not done losing anyway. So, I mean, you thought even before this game they were probably a 10-2 team.
I did.
Yeah. It's so funny. You went through a wardrobe change at halftime. I am still in my pajama pants from last night. I have not showered. I have not showered today. I have not left the house. I still have. They're actually holiday pajama pants too. Look at that.
Wow.
Dude, how bad do your balls smell?
I'm not down there. I just know that I woke up this morning with my pajamas on and had a nice cup of coffee and made my picks today. They're going to end up 4, 5, and 1. And
my picks, I got to tell you this, and I felt great about today. I had a terrible day just based on units. I think we're going to end up 6 and 7 probably record wise, but I just didn't pick wisely on some of these units. So it wasn't a great day, but these things happen.
What ended up being your 5-star? You teased that on Friday. What did that end up being?
It's freaking Air Force. And I don't know if you guys watched the game. You probably didn't. I
watched every second of it. Yeah.
Did you? I made people suffer on watching that on the big or one of the bigs. And I loved Air Force. And you just can't come out and have the turnovers that they did. I mean, they played really sloppy football. They have been airtight the entire year, and they're laying. It ended up going off 12.5 is what we had it at mybookie.ag, but -2 in turnovers, and 414 total yards to 321 for Air Force. We had every opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, that was tough.
I didn't know that was I told Brown I didn't know that was your 5-star play when I texted Wyoming's playing their ass off.
That's what
they were. They were early on. I was like, and it's Wyoming team. They've beaten Fresno at home, and they beat who else they beat at home? Texas Tech at home, and played with Texas 10-10 down in Austin until they got blown out in the fourth quarter. But I was like you, I thought Air Force would beat them because they had been a machine, and they did win the game. They just didn't cover.
Yeah, and they had that opportunity, so they settled for a field goal late in the first half, And then they had that sweet spot where they were up 6, touchdown and extra point covers for us. And they fumbled the ball. And, they go down, score, then they go back, score. But Air Force, if I would have said, they run for 356 yards, 7 yards to carry, and 3 touchdowns. That's exactly the way I thought it would play it out. But I didn't know we'd get the turnovers we got. And, it's one of the unfortunate things about giving out picks like this is, we try our asses off to win. But sometimes, although game plan's good, team's better, turnovers are the ultimate equalizer. And you sometimes just can't predict for that.
Yeah. I've got nothing on my picks every week, and I ride with them like I have the house on it.
Oh, me too. I mean, I'm freaking keeping up today with Northern Illinois because it was the Brown Bandit. Won outright, by the way.
Oh, did they? Good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, can we get into Texas A&M? Because
I'd save that just for you to come on. We talked very little Alabama, a lot of Auburn with little T. Texas A&M, Tennessee. We said this week, Lance. Every loss he takes from this point on, that this is going to increase the narrative. And I know they're playing a backup with Max Johnson. I'm just surprised their offense is. I mean, they're coming off 103 yards second half against Alabama, and then they just picked up right where they left off today in that second half of Alabama. They were flat out bad on offense today.
Well, I got to say this real quick about Jimbo. The last 2 weeks against Bama and against Tennessee, they had the ball, they had a timeout, they had opportunities at the end of the first half. And he is so scared of his own offense with all of those playmakers. I would never play for Jimbo. If I was like a huge skill guy, there's no chance. He has no confidence in that team. He's done it back-to-back weeks in really one possession games against Alabama and now Tennessee. And you lost the game because you were so comfortable in just taking it to half. You can't do that in today's college football. I brought it up last week. Missouri against LSU. Missouri knew every point mattered. 4th and 5, their own side of the field. They go for it. They don't get it. LSU probably scores, but they get it. They get 3. And Texas A&M's just not doing that. On top of that, that offensive line is god awful. I mean, they only ended up getting 2 sacks, but Max Johnson, by the way, soft, 6'6", old man, played in the NFL and won your Tampa Bay Bucks Super Bowl. Max Johnson, soft. He felt like 4 or 5 times on his own. I don't know what he was doing. It was like in his head, he knew 1, 2, 3 pressure, and they were on him, but he was just falling nonstop. That was a terrible performance. And I believe now at 4-3, pull the trigger, fire him right now. You're going to pay the buyout anyway. I don't know how much the difference is between now and January 1st.
Yeah. Shout out for Brian Burgess, Downtown Brown, one of my former teammates at Jacksonville State on the golf team. Hadn't heard from that guy forever, so I'm glad he checked in right there. NH3425, $76.8 million on Jimbo's buyout right now, he thinks.
Yeah, I think it's $70 million at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Hey, what does it matter? Make a point.
Dunaway, didn't you tell me earlier, or didn't you tell us earlier this week, Exxon just had record profits?
Exxon, $56 billion profit in 2022. They bought up all the land, the Permian Basin, which runs from West Texas into middle New Mexico. That's a chunk of the United States they bought up.
Yeah.
For oil. They could easily pay off Jimbo.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they do, because that was a bad loss. And again, like Auburn, like we were talking about with Auburn, like we were talking about with USC, Texas A&M has not finished losing football games. They are going to lose some more football games, and every time they lose one, this storyline is going to come right back. They get South Carolina at home, but then they're at Ole Miss. I mean, I don't know. I'd take Ole Miss against them with the way their offense is playing right now. They still got to play LSU. I can't see them beating LSU. So, they're on their way to a 5-loss season potentially. I just don't know if he survives 7-5.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I thought early on the offense looked a little different. And I know, as you mentioned, that Max Johnson, a backup quarterback now, once kind of Wegman went out, this looks like Jimbo Fisher's offense that we've seen over the years.
It does not look – but Petrino – if Petrino was actually calling the plays and running the show, he hasn't changed anything. It's the same old offense.
I want to get LT before we get done here. What did you think of Dan Lanning not taking field goals when he?
Oh my gosh! I think the first one I didn't have a problem with right before half, and I responded to you guys on a group text. you got free points there. The way Washington played their final possession,
Yep.
you had like Washington should have like had every opportunity to go down and score with no clock left in the first half. And that bad snap on third down and then not getting it on fourth, which I thought you had to go for on fourth after that, they gave you a possession that you shouldn't have had. So
right.
you had an opportunity, and then you were getting ball. If it's 4th and 1 within, a yard, I can understand going for it. You can't go for it on like the 3 like that. You got to take points.
Yep. I
And
agree.
Dunaway mentioned that earlier. You're getting the ball, Jim, coming out. So now you've cut it to 1 with the ball.
Yeah. The thing that didn't bother me, LT, was at the end on 4th and 2, not punting it, because at that point, my best player on the team, either side, is Bo Nix.
I agree with that.
And it's 4th and 2. They've got no timeouts. I'll take my guy to get 2 yards, and they don't come back out at all, and we win the game. And I'll do that. But kicking the field goals, give me those field goals. I'll take points anytime I can get.
You get that first field goal, then the second field goal is automatic. I mean,
yep.
These were extra points. He was passing up extra points. I mean, those are not long field goals. Yeah.
And look, it's easy to say, and I know the interview at halftime, he told Holly Rowe, he's like, we're aggressive. This is the way we're going to play the football game. But when you like, they don't need to look at a sheet. It's like common sense, like gut. Yeah. We shouldn't have stopped Washington. We got a benefit. They had some bad miscommunication there. We got an extra possession. Let's take advantage and get that 3. We're getting the ball. We can take the lead in the second half. I mean, that dicked up the whole game for them.
Yeah,
it did.
But I do think Michael Penix, I love Bo Nix. I really do. I love the fact that the story went from where it is to where it is now. But Michael Penix Jr. is a complete stud. That guy in the NFL. I mean, his accuracy is incredible.
Yeah. Hey, back on Tennessee, Brant points this out. Nobody had run on Texas A&M this year, and Tennessee went 240 on them.
Yeah,
on the ground.
Tennessee's been doing that all year. They've been running the ball really well. And next week's Alabama. It's going to be
an interesting
game.
It is, Jimmy, but they're limited at quarterback, man. Joe Milton, he could not do anything today against that A&M defense. I don't know. What's the number on that Bama game, Lance? Bama, Tennessee next week.
11.
Woo!
Oh, I was going to say 6.5.
No.
Dunaway's taking Tennessee.
I will say this, though. I don't think A&M could play as bad as they did. 11 penalties, 2 turnovers, and they lose by 7. And really, it got away from the last 2 possessions. Like, I kept watching it because we ended up going off on that game. We ended up getting A&M +3. And I was like, we're going to end up pushing out. We should have won this game. But they completely shit the bed for us to lose the cover. It's crazy.
Alabama completed 10 passes.
I know.
And they ran the ball for 177 yards.
Yeah.
And you're telling me it's going to be double digits against Tennessee?
Oh, yeah. It will be. Yeah.
Stake bet?
It's like they give the money away.
I mean, for us, for what we do, I'm glad that both of these teams win, where it makes the game a little more intriguing, right?
Oh, yeah. What, Alabama, Tennessee?
Yeah.
I mean, it's, Tennessee, it's an absolute elimination game for them, not necessarily for Alabama the way the West is going right now. Alabama could absorb.
But from the college football playoffs.
For the college football playoff, absolutely. But, for Tennessee, it is, if they have any designs on the East, they really have to win this game. You can't think Georgia's going to lose 2 games. There are a lot of people asking about Brock Bowers. The x-rays were negative, according to Kirby Smart. So they're going to do an MRI. So your only concern will be if there's some sort of ligament damage in that ankle.
I didn't think it was horrible. It didn't look horrible. Let me say that. I really don't know where he is. We'll see. Let me ask you guys this, though. If I was going to try to compare something. Y'all go ahead. I've got to figure this out real quick.
Well, here Lunsford's got some early lines. Action Network and FanDuel 8.5 for Bama, Tennessee. DraftKings at 9. BetMGM at 9.5. So we'll see where it officially opens tomorrow when Vegas releases the Week 8 numbers.
We 11.5.
You think 11.5, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I do. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's get quick reactions while you guys are thinking. North Carolina's finishing off Miami here. What do you think of North Carolina the rest of the way?
Can they win the ACC? Man, that looks like a good football team tonight.
I mean, again, yeah, freaking Cristobal put them in such a bad position. If they don't fumble going in the end zone, where it was going to be 7-7, and then they ended up tying it up and they ultimately took the lead, it's a different game. I mean, the bad breaks for Miami tonight. Jinx team. Miami as good as North Carolina, no doubt, watching this game.
Yeah. But is North Carolina as good as Florida State, who destroyed Syracuse earlier today?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. Dunaway. I like this North Carolina team, though.
Yeah.
And they got Walker back, and he's involved now.
I would bet this. I would bet there will not be a ACC team in the college football playoff. And I'd put any amount of money on that.
Wow. Helped out the fact that Louisville lost to Pitt today. I know I mentioned it a couple of times that, how will they handle success? Can they do what they did last week to Notre Dame?
Nope.
And then go on the road to Pitt and handle success now that everybody's talking about them? The answer was no, they could not.
Yeah. Yeah, they looked awful. You could almost feel that one coming. I know you wanted to take Pittsburgh in the upset alert.
Yeah, I wish I had it. My team's down 14-0 right now.
I will say this, though. North Carolina, somebody was saying their schedule is manageable. They get Virginia, who is awful. Georgia Tech, who is not good, though they did beat Miami. And then Campbell over the next three. So they're going to be undefeated when they play Duke.
Wow.
They finish with Duke, Clemson, NC State. Duke at home, at Clemson, at NC State. That's their last three.
Clemson's their toughest game.
Yeah, they don't even play Florida State unless they play them in the conference championship game. That is a very manageable schedule. I would not be stunned if North Carolina is undefeated playing Florida State in the ACC championship game.
I was also shocked, LT, how UCLA played today.
I was too. I ended up, that was my 13th play, added them. The game's not over, 3:38 to go. They're down 12, but Oregon State's got the ball at midfield, 3rd and 4 here. Oregon State is so good, like so underrated, but UCLA, the only thing that scared me was Dante Moore, his inability to like get out of any kind of pressure because he's just traditional drop back guy. Oregon State's legit though. It's two really good teams. Pac-12 is so good. Here was going to be my point to you guys. Watching Washington and Oregon, both of those teams would beat Alabama.
Yes, I agree with that
too.
And I can't believe we're saying that. Like, I can't ever remember a day after 2007 where Nick Saban was coaching Alabama that two Pac-12 teams that we know for a fact. Like, USC's not good enough, but those two teams we saw today were legit teams.
I don't know if I know for a fact, LT.
I mean,
you got a chance to beat them. Yeah.
On the road, if you played it on the road, both those teams play right with Georgia. It wouldn't shock me if Washington or Oregon beat Georgia. I mean, I just watched Georgia play at Vandy today, and they didn't.
I agree. I think the quarterbacks are better than what you've got at either school.
Yeah.
They've got athletes, man. Their speed on defense, I thought was great. Both.
Yeah.
I thought early on, I don't know if you guys felt like this. I felt like Washington was going to run away with that game.
I was fearful of that too, because I was obviously cheering for Bo and Oregon in this one because of our state bet, but also I like Bo, and it felt like the blitzing and the pressure that Washington was putting on him, it seems like they were so fast. I agree with you. The team speed looked fantastic on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
What is Festus saying?
He says we need a drunk club LT.
I was sitting out at the pool. So me and Jack watched first half of Bama outside today. And we were talking. He's like, Mom and Leighton are going to pick me up after they went to the zoo with Cord and Sean and Nancy today. And he said, if I was staying over, it wouldn't be wild tonight, would it? And he was like, every night last year was so wild. He's like, Club LT it's like completely shut down.
Yeah, that's right.
And it really is night and day from what it was last year, but that's probably a good thing.
Speaking of shutting down, Washington State, man, that Arizona team beat the eyes out of them. What's Arizona?
Yeah, Cam Ward has struggled. I mean, he might have been a fringe Heisman guy, but no longer is he that.
Well, I think two things. I going back to last week when they lost that game against UCLA, they felt like their one opportunity was because of the brand, we've got to really make a run here. And they got physically beaten down, and it unfortunately carried over this week to them.
Yeah. People are wanting you to give the headline that we didn't give.
It
turned out to not be. It was. I'll just say here. Can I do it? I'm not going to give the actual headline. Well,
you can. I don't care. First of all, the reason we didn't say it is I didn't want to disrespect any. And this is not be. I'm not politically correct. You guys know that. But there are two things that I hold the utmost respect for, and that is kids and dogs. And there was kind of an angle on a kid thing here.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the problem is everybody gets so beat up and everybody's like so inappropriate and stuff. But like, I don't mean some of the stuff I say.
Well, don't do it. You're uncomfortable about doing it, so don't do it. I don't want you to do it if you're uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, let's don't do it. We're not going to do it.
Hey, with that said, though, that game.
Do you want me to bring the game up? Can I bring the game up?
Well, so this Phil Longo, and if you watched Unlocked with Brock Heward last week, he was like, I don't know what's going on. Like this Phil Longo experience is really weird because he did the game today. And when you watch Wisconsin right now, it's so strange. They ended up pulling Mordecai, and they put in a true freshman. And the offense seemed to be a little bit better, but it was too late. I mean, I got to give they ended up getting a scoop and score, which is a difference maker in a game like that when you have a total of 32.5. But Iowa is going to end up going 2-11-1, and they're going to play for the
Dunaway, they're going to play for the Big Ten championship and come nowhere close to the number of points that Brian Ferentz has to score to keep his job. It's going to be wild.
15-6 today, if you don't know what the final score was. 15-6 Iowa over Wisconsin. And they're winning football games without scoring points.
I mean, 9 first downs, 37 pass yards, and they go on the road and win a Big Ten game. And they don't really have a challenging schedule ahead of them. They're going to win that division and play and get obliterated by whoever it is, whether it's Penn State or Ohio State or Michigan, will get absolutely destroyed. I mean, they've already played Penn State.
Hey, I'm going to go on and say this. Ohio State is not losing to Penn State.
No, Saturday, by the way. That game's coming up Saturday.
You don't think Ohio State loses to Penn State?
No, I do not.
Is that in Happy Valley?
No, it's in the Horseshoe. It's in the Horseshoe.
What's that?
Now, Lance, you should know Penn State beat UMass 63-0 today.
Yeah, what's that spread going to be?
So it should be 6.5. It'll be 4.5.
You think Ohio State minus 6.5?
It's going to be 4.5 because people are sucking off Penn State.
Penn State's going to beat their eyes out.
Dunaway. Penn State's going to beat their eyes out?
I'll take whatever the line is for State before we even see the line. Whatever the line is at 9 a.m. Monday, mybookie.ag, I'll take that line.
How about we do this? How about let's do this. Whatever the number is, I'll take Ohio State. I will give you $1,000 cash.
No,
just
or
listen.
Wipe off the stakes.
Yeah. So either if Ohio State wins the game, whatever the number is, and covers, then I'll go $1,500. If Ohio State covers, though, we're even. Let's just do a one compact bet.
You're sort of like pressing in golf.
Yeah, that was a
Why not? You got nothing to lose. I'll give you $1,500 cash. I'll fucking whip them out. 15 $100 bills.
I don't want to take that much money from you.
I have no problem with it. No problem with it. We need to get this thing squared back down where we can get back to normalcy.
The world's too crazy right now for Lance.
Because one was a push today and I had Iowa, so we're 1-0-1 today.
I mean, I'm just offering you. It's either $1,500 or nothing. It's not that big of a deal, right?
I mean, $1,500 is a lot of money to me.
That is the Big Noon Kick next week, by the way. Big Noon Kick. And Game Day is going to be there. So I guess both shows are going to be there.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, Charles is right. Last time I had a drunk bet like this, I lost my left nut. So.
You did lose a testicle. I'm still in possession of that.
Well, I tell you what, let's do this. Let's wait and we'll discuss it on the show at some point this week, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
That way you'll be sober and we can think about it that way.
Yeah.
That way I won't feel guilty.
All right. Is there a game we didn't get to that y'all want to talk about before we go?
Real quick, I think Michigan's best team in football.
I mean, I don't know how you know they're not playing anybody, but they sure are dominating the people they're not playing. So I watched a little bit. Indiana was up 7-0, so I got sucked in, and then I mean, it was a domination after that.
Good win for Missouri.
Yeah.
I feel confident there are only 5 teams that can win the national championship.
Alabama.
All right, so you go Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Washington, and Texas? Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Washington, Texas. So you're eliminating Oklahoma.
I think it's Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Washington.
So that's
and I know it's weird because Oregon was right there with them.
Yeah.
One call here or there. I just don't know if Oregon can get there now that they've got one loss.
And you didn't mention Texas.
No.
Did you mention Oklahoma?
No.
Did you mention Georgia?
He did.
Yes.
He put Georgia in there. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Washington. That's it, right? That's your 4?
Yeah. I think Washington is, again, they could have lost a game like that, but I think Washington is really good now that they survived that game.
So knee jerk. I mean, Florida State could do it. Georgia, just teams you didn't mention. Oklahoma, Texas. I mean, they could those 4.
But I'm with you. I think Washington's really good. And I think Penix might win the Heisman. I think Kalen DeBoer's a heck of a football coach.
They should have lost today.
But if Dan Lanning gets his head out of his butt and just takes the points and doesn't go for that 4th down at midfield, they lose that football game.
At home.
They survived it. And I think Oregon's that good. Oregon's definitely a top 10 team. Yeah. But you got past that. Now you move on. You've got Arizona State, easy win. At Stanford, easy win. And then it gets a little difficult to end the season. But there's only 2 losable games on their schedule right now. And even if they split those, win Pac-12 championship, go 12-1, they're going to get in.
Yeah.
I would almost, the most confidence I have, 2 teams, Georgia and Washington getting in.
Probably so. I just don't know that anybody in the West. I don't think Georgia's all that great this year. I think they're a really good football team. I don't think they're anywhere close to what they've been the last 2 years. But I also watch the West every Saturday. I'm like, I don't know who's beating them out of the West. I mean, if they played Alabama today, Alabama would absolutely have to play their A game, and Georgia would have to play probably a B or C.
I got up on Carson Beck, and man, he made some bad mistakes today. He wasn't terrible, but if that would have been somebody other than Vanderbilt, they would have lost that game.
I think Alabama could beat, but John says Bama could beat Georgia. Absolutely, Alabama could beat Georgia. They couldn't beat them the way they played today, though. I mean, that's the problem. What Alabama am I getting,
Yeah, no, I agree 1,000%. Bobby's right, though. Michigan that is to me the only lock for the college football playoff.
Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Who have yet to play Ohio State or Penn State.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, they've got the best quarterback by far. And I know he turned it over again today, but they've got the best quarterback by far in the Big Ten.
But what if they lose in Happy Valley?
Defense by far is the best in the Big Ten.
What if they lose in Happy Valley?
Well, then it becomes interesting.
And when they host Ohio State, which
then I'll walk it back a little bit.
Yeah. Then at that point you'll have 4 other teams that could win.
But you guys tell me, who has Penn State played?
Nobody.
Nobody.
I asked you all on the show this morning, is Penn State's best game West Virginia or Iowa? And we don't know, but the fact that it's one of those 2 tells you all you need to know, right?
Yep.
I don't know anything. I had a 5-star unit on freaking Air Force, so I don't know anything. I have no idea.
All right, we're going to shut it down. Thank you for joining us. Please give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and set your alerts and follow us on social media at Next Round Live. We're going to be live Monday morning, Dunaway at 7 o'clock with Luganville, who's in Tuscaloosa.
That's right, 7 o'clock Monday morning live. You know who hadn't shortened their broadcast? That ABC primetime game, by the way. It's still going on. A minute left.
That thing's not done yet?
No, 41-31. Miami's trying to drive with 57 seconds left.
I thought these were highlights. That game has been going forever.
Yeah.
Van Dyke is down, though. Yeah. Hey, I love
still 2 minutes left in UAB UTSA.
Let's give me an AARP card. That means I'm old, right?
Yeah, it does mean you're old. Hey, Riley Leonard almost played tonight.
Well, that's good. That means he'll be ready to play when they play North Carolina.
That's right. Yeah.
You say that unless he steps off a curb the wrong way this
That's
week.
true. That could also happen, Lance.
I wouldn't let him go to. He's not going to class. Like
I wouldn't. I wouldn't let him walk in.
You're going to chemistry and you step off a curb the wrong way.
That's right. All right, Dunaway, 7 o'clock on Monday morning with Tom Luganville, who was on the sidelines there in Tuscaloosa. You guys saw him there, so a lot on Bama, Arkansas, and everything else we saw. Lance and I will join Dunaway at 9 o'clock for our normal show, The Next Round. You guys just enjoy the NFL tomorrow, lanceslive.com. You're going to bounce back in the NFL, Lance. I got the faith in you.
Hey, I will tell you this right now, and the last 3 days, I've been going through every game. Right now, I've only got one team, and I absolutely love them. And I don't know what to do about it. I'm thinking about doing a 10-unit play on one game and just letting it roll tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
And it's the Buccaneers?
It's not I do like the Bucs tomorrow. So if I play multiple games, your Bucs will be part of the card. But right now, I absolutely love one team.
Okay. Will you text it to me when we're done here?
Yeah, I will. But Air Force today, and that didn't work out well.
Yeah, see, that may be your problem. You should stop texting Brown the big plays because I think he's jinxing you that he knows it.
No, I'll tell you what happened. Little T called me today. She's like, I don't know how to set up my mybookie.ag. So I was like, FaceTime me and I'll try to help you with this. And I gave her 3 plays. She did it at night. If she would have done it earlier, she would have won. Yep. I was like, okay, so based on what your units are, we're going to do this. We're going to put 25 on USC, loser.
Yeah.
We're going to put 50 on Miami, loser. And let's put $100 on Air Force, a loser. So she put 200 in. I think she's 200 down. I told her, you really don't need to start gambling.
The dog just turned your camera off, by the way. Fortunately, if she put 200 in, she got 220 because we just lost Lance forever, I think, that way. She got 220 because of the 110% sign-on bonus, 110% at mybookie.ag when you use code next round.
Well, I'm the one that has the problem, right? I've lost a car in the past, so I'm the one we have to keep an eye on.
That's right. We're going to keep an eye on you. Lance is back to say goodbye.
Sorry about that.
Right.
You'll be shocked. Bullet knocked that over. So I got to tell you guys, I had to reach out to the rescue in Austin, Texas. And I told her, I was like, we got to talk. We got to figure something out. So today, honestly, earlier this week, I think I told you guys I was making some New York butcher steaks, and Chili jumped up on the island and ate one of the fillets like that within 2 seconds. So this morning, Chick-fil-A, she took my biscuit, ate it. This afternoon, sandwich shop locally took my sandwich off the counter, ate it. Bullet got in Maddie's car, pissed all over her car. They've pissed and shit in the house, I don't know, 10 times today. They are just pushing my buttons nonstop. They knocked over an iced coffee all over a white rug. They knocked over my water today when we were doing the pregame. It's like they're trying to push buttons, but I don't know where they think they're going because nobody wants them. Like, I am the nicest guy that will keep them here. And if they get rehomed again, they're going to end up in the woods. So I don't know if you guys can motivate my dogs, but we're getting really close.
Yeah, but see, they don't know that where they could end up. They don't know that. They don't know that.
Well, they're in a good spot right now, but they're pushing.
They really are. But just the hassle they cause you, man.
Yeah.
I was worried about that when you got 2.
Well, I mean, you guys could take one of the 2.
No. Those dogs too high energy for me.
It's so funny. I had 2 people over today, and they're like, you know what? We're not going to get. Hey, well, let me tell you this story real quick. So I get a call from Maddie. She's like, you got to get to the church. So you know where the church is towards my house,
right?
And I'm like, what the hell is going on? She had taken it for a run. This is in the middle of Washington, Oregon. I'm like, I can't leave. I can't tell you what's going on. You got to get down here. I'm like, holy hell. So I jump in the car, drive out. I take a left. There is traffic both ways backed up on Meadowbrook Road. And I see this Vizsla running laps in the street. And there's a little girl on the side of the street. And I pull up and I park the car, put the hazards on. There's hazards everywhere. People are honking. It's chaos. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? So apparently, not our Vizsla, Our two Vizslas are still in the car. There's another Vizsla without its collar running laps. A little girl had walked out to get her Vizsla, couldn't get it contained. So she gets lost. She's outside of her home. Maddie pulled over and was like, let's call your mom. And at the same time, couldn't get the Vizsla. So Vizslas wreak havoc on the world. That's my point.
Yeah. They're wild animals, man. I mean, I see them I haven't even been around both of them, but I see them in the video shots we do. It's always, I mean, they are active, man.
Go back and watch the last part of our morning show and just look at little Angus laying just casually in there. And you know who watched football with me all day long? Angus on one leg, Charlie on the other. They just sit there and they just stare at the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did you feed Angus a gummy?
No. They just sit there. They're on a natural high.
Hey, so they're asleep now, but my older brother brought his girlfriend who I just met. And I fed her. It's called Death by Gummy.
Oh my God.
The girlfriend?
Well, no, it's his girlfriend, but like she was like nonstop during USC. So I was like, I'm gonna pull the plug here. She's like, I can't handle any gummy. I was like, okay. So I gave her one of those.
You need to go in there and check the pulse?
And not my problem. Death by Gummy.
I lost y'all's connection. I can't even hear you guys anymore. If this ever ends up in court.
Well, she's done for. If anybody's ever had one of those, I've never done it in my life. Somebody give me a pack of them, and I'm like, not interested. It's like tread lightly. It's got all these warning labels, and I've given it to two people, and both people are like, it's the worst thing I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And she talked a lot of shit, but I needed to unplug it.
Yeah. That really helped you in the second half, though. you kind of wondered.
You sure you didn't give Caleb Williams one?
He was worse in the first half.
That was awful, man.
Yeah.
Awful.
All right, Forrester, if you're watching from about 58 minutes till right here is where you'll cut out this week.
That's right. That's what we like to call it. That's what we like to call evidence. Destroy the old evidence there.
Bobby said I was roofing future in-laws.
That's right.
He's safe. She's in there with my older brother. They're asleep and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying I couldn't take it anymore.
So you shut her up.
It's a quicker description, Bobby, if you just say you roofing his brother's future ex-wife.
Hey, he said the night he was like, I'll never get married again. And then my youngest brother, who was over here, was like, I don't think they'll allow you to. This would be like 6. You can't get married 6 times.
There's a limit. You can't get married 6 times. They're always like, do you take this one? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. We've heard that before.
You don't have to read this stuff. It's like the Miranda rights. I've been arrested 31 times. Fuck you, Copper.
Copper.
You have the right to remain single.
Oh my gosh. All right, is that it now? I wrapped it up early. I mean, I'm fine to keep going. I don't care. I'm about to go to bed.
I don't care. I'll make another cocktail. I mean, I'm up. I'm trying to decide. You know, this is like the worst late night schedule we've had.
I know that's what I'm feeling
year.
Dunaway.
All years.
Yeah.
Man.
Boise State, Colorado State, no interest. San Diego State at Hawaii, no interest.
No.
I really don't have.
I got burned today. I played a couple of props I sent you. I had Penix over yards. I thought we were looking great on that. And then I had Max Johnson over 1.5 touchdowns.
Oof.
Well, I tell you what killed us was that 1st and goal and first possession. He ended up scrambling for a touchdown. If we would have gotten that, I think we are kind of in the mix there.
Boy, how good was that atmosphere, though? I mean, we always love that stadium.
Hey, I'll tell you this about Tennessee.
Yeah.
Much more physical than I thought. They are a physical team.
Oh, they ran the ball.
Tough ass game this week, man.
Yeah. For
losable
Alabama.
game for Bama.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt it's a losable game.
Every game now. I didn't think that coming into this week. I think I told one of y'all, I was like, I disagree. Like, they can't lose to Arkansas. I mean, we were all texting together. We're going to like do like an emergency jump on if Bama loses. And I thought for a second they were going to lose the game or at least go to overtime.
Me too. Me too. 100%. And I said it all week long. Remember, I was the one saying every game except for Chattanooga is going to be just like this. Every game. And it's no fun. I liked them when they were blowouts.
Yeah. Michael's right. The old Spider-Man meme where everybody's pointing at each other? That's Milton and Milrow. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep. And just think, 1 year later, last year it was Bryce Young and Hendon Hooker.
Such a great matchup.
So
Incredible matchup.
you've got two throw-off quarterbacks that played the marquee game of the day, and Michael Penix Jr. from Indiana and Bo Nix couldn't get it done at Auburn. Either one of those quarterbacks at Alabama right now, Alabama wins national championship. I don't think there's any doubt.
I would agree. I would agree. I mean, there's receivers open that Milroe is missing, and then he hits the deep ball.
Well, that's the thing. So, like, the offensive line is so bad. I think Bo Nix is good enough to kind of negate that. And on the other side, those guys that are open, Michael Penix never misses those guys.
Yeah.
He just doesn't.
Hey, can we we didn't mention Alabama much at all in this whole thing. The two running backs who have not gotten a lot of time, like Jim Miller and them, they came in and looked really good.
Played everybody today. I thought that was interesting.
I thought on that Jam Miller run, though, that he busted, it's like it was almost like he was working against the clock. Like I was looking forward to him like making a move late and trying to score, but it was like I'm cool with the explosive play. I'm going down after 25 yards.
How about this, Michael? I don't know if y'all noticed this at the end if you stuck around. Michael's tired of Burton talking all the junk, which that's all he does.
It's not
stop with him. So much so that they're trying to run victory formation. He's the safety in the play. Jace McClellan is trying to get him settled down and gets Alabama a motion penalty.
Yeah. Gets his ass chewed out by Saban.
Yeah, and
because
he's like,
Burton's out there doing this to him.
Yeah, he's waving by. And Jace McClellan's turning around, basically saying, "Shut up! We're lucky to win the game. I don't even know why you're talking. You know what?"
Yeah.
And then the ball snaps, so they get a false start because McClellan's having to try to settle Burton down.
I'd have flagged him in a heartbeat and made Alabama kneel again. I'd have flagged him in a heartbeat for taunting.
Yep.
And
H3425 says Burton's going to get unsportsmanlike. There is no doubt about it. He's very
remember you got one last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's very close though because he jaws every single catch he makes. He jaws with the defender, and the SEC has seen this, and the officials are being alerted to this. I mean, if you're the SEC, you've got to, because you got to tell the officials, hey, number 3 runs his mouth a lot. You got to make sure you control that early, or there'll be a fight. So the officials will be watching him.
Is that Vandersloot guy in the Shelby County jail? Like Shelby County here?
No, they had to put him in Shelby County to protect him, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
I think they can protect him.
I mean, that's Shelby County Jail in Columbiana. I mean, I can get you in the back door there.
If I had a connection, I would make sure he doesn't come out.
Yeah.
So he's there right now?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's awaiting trial. May I ask how that came up?
One of my 6 screens over here that the local news is on.
I didn't know that. But that guy is the biggest piece of shit. One of the biggest pieces of shits in the world.
I don't think they could protect him in the Jefferson County jail. So it was easier to protect him in the Shelby County jail. Yeah. So
I think that'd be easy to get done.
What?
Him not like being in another system.
Well, I mean, you want him to stand trial. I mean, it would be closure for the family if he stood trial and is found guilty. I'd at least want him to have his day in court.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. Boy, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bobby has told us this before, that he's got a cousin that's a security guard at a max prison in Peru, and he's shocked that he made it out of there alive.
Well, he's a cocksucker. I mean, he really is. Everywhere he has been, not only has he wreaked havoc, but everybody hates him. He's like the cockiest guy in the world. Like, I did like a deep dive on that guy behind the scenes. He is awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Clearly you did. I didn't know you knew so much about him.
Yeah. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Bad guy. And it's no telling. I mean, for him to get away with what he got away with initially, and then to kill another girlfriend the way he did, like, people don't understand like how many things behind the scene that guy's done.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
It seems like we could get your new friend to make a call at some point.
Yeah, I don't want to be involved in that.
Yeah, that's the one thing you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing you don't want to do.
We could. Yeah. The title of that 30 for 30 could be Death by Lock.
So I'm like, kids, dogs, women.
Okay.
Those are like the 3 untouchables.
In no particular order, if you're watching.
Well,
I think
kids is one. Kids is one. I think dogs and women are close. No, like don't compare that that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I think the overall like
Doesn't sound good.
personality. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound good, but I think dogs are better than most people, is what I'm trying to say. But you can't mess with dogs or women. There's three things in our like existence we can't mess with, and if you do, then you should be tortured. You should be drugged. What is a quarter and
Drawn and quartered.
yes, tarred and feathered. Did you get a mohawk, by the way, Brown? Turn side, the other
No.
side. No, the way you had like the others.
Oh, he froze. There you go.
Oh wow, damn, that's almost a mohawk, isn't it?
I don't think so. Same haircut I always get from Roni.
Okay, it just looked a little tight.
Yeah. No, it was fresh. It's fresh. Got it yesterday, so it's still fresh.
I wonder if anybody agrees with me in the chat. Like, if you mess with dogs, kids, or women, you should be tortured.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there.
I'm not trying to be over the top.
No, not at all. Yeah.
I only believe in a few things. And those are some of the things I believe in.
Right.
Thank you, Merle Haggard.
Hey, somebody said, Chris says, LT said, protect a woman. He drugged a woman tonight. I didn't. She taunted me. She was like, I've got the biggest tolerance ever. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. Yeah. And I gave her that. And then I pulled the cord because she went down quick because I knew she would. And I told her, I was like, it's 100 milligrams. You want to dick around with it?
It's 100 milligrams?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, she's on it right now.
I mean, that'd put me in the grave. I do 10, it sends me upside down.
Put me in the grave. Again, I've talked to 2 people that have done it, and they said it was the worst experience ever. So I'm just kind of on the outside, just listening. But yeah, wasn't me drugging a woman. She took it. It was a legal substance, Delta 8, by the way, which you can buy and tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little too much for me.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
What is I've had to hit the mute button on them before too, LT, just saying.
I think on the ladies, I believe that's what he said. Yeah.
No, it's a fun night. I don't know about you guys. You guys always seem to have like really good days of just by yourself watching football.
Oh, I plan it that way. Yeah.
I wasn't by myself at all today, actually. I was at the end. My daughter's in town for fall break, so my mom and dad came over and they watched the early games over here. And we had some people in and out, but primarily by myself.
Maggie's doing schoolwork. The temperature was just right today. We made the fiesta soup for the first time.
What kind of temperature?
Outside, inside. You know, it was soup season. We started a little soup season.
You know what the high is tomorrow?
What?
59.
Oh,
what?
Leftover soup.
Yeah, I swear it's 59.
You know,
I pay attention. I'm getting a new backyard from Harbin's Outdoors, by the way. And so I'm paying attention to this because within the next week, I'm going to have fire pit right behind this. Some cool stuff. You guys need to come over. By the way, y'all never come over and hang out.
Well,
Maddie invited me, but she ran through the list of who was there, and I chose to sit here by myself with my 2 dogs.
It was my brothers. That was it.
I know. It seemed crowded. There
was 3 people here.
Apparently one that talked a lot, though, Jim.
Well, I mean, wasn't Cameron and his wife there, Shane and his girlfriend, Maddie, you, and your 2 dogs?
Yeah.
That's a crowd.
Hey, by the way, the high
is that Maddie laughing?
Lance was right. The high is 62 tomorrow. That is cold, man. Got cold quick.
Hey, she went and put on a shirt. I'm not going to tell you all this whole story. But one of the first Nike stores I ever went to was when I was living in LA. This 1996. And I got one of the coolest USC football shirts that I've ever had. So what do you think came first? The shirt that I've got that she's wearing tonight or her?
Oh, you mean like birth?
Yeah.
I think the shirt came first.
I think the shirt by a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have any like t-shirts that are almost like 30 years old?
No, I think they've all cycled out. Jim used to have that. Remember, Jim used to have that white long sleeve one that he would wear into shirts.
We burned the shit out of that.
Yeah, we probably told him to burn it in the parking lot.
So now I've got 4 or 5 of them I rotate in.
Yeah.
That just dawned on me that I started dating Maggie before Maddie. How about that? Before Maddie was alive.
Yeah.
Wait, so you started dating her in 95?
I started dating her in 96.
Oh, wow.
And Maddie came in 97.
No, I came in
No, she came in
96.
96. She's
Okay.
December 96.
Okay.
She's
well,
she's about to roll 27.
I mean, Summer Olympics. Maggie and I went to the Summer Olympics when we were dating.
No, you
96.
did not.
Atlanta. In
Oh,
Atlanta,
that
yeah.
soccer game. That wasn't Summer Olympics.
It was literally the Summer Olympics.
You talking about the soccer game? That was the Summer Olympics. I went too.
We went to Atlanta as well.
Why would you say that was not the Summer Olympics?
It was a standalone.
Well, I mean, everything they do is a standalone.
Hey, by the way, I want
What-
people to watch the movie Jewel.
About Richard Jewell?
Yeah, he got complete. I don't know what was worse, his situation or Mel Tucker's. I guess his probably.
We were in the park that day and left. We didn't stay for the night. And
You
I
know,
probably, and I
you never
probably
get the
commented about how
backstory.
I probably
People get-
commented about how good security was.
Yeah, man, you could blow this place up for nothing, man.
People get so dicked and then nobody like tells the full story. Like Richard Jewell, forever, I thought that guy was a terrorist. And then after I learned the story, he got completely railroaded. It's like Mel Tucker's an idiot. I give you that. He's not like a guy that's like sexually harassing anybody.
Well, I mean, they just thought that he blew up a Olympic Park for a while, but he wasn't him.
No, it wasn't him at all. He got completely railroaded.
Yeah.
It's that Eric Robert Rudolph who cut his arm off. Is he dead yet, by the way?
I think he did die, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did die.
Good. I hope it was painful.
Brown, no joke. This
What?
guy who's doing weather on your TV station, he just had a graphic up telling me what to wear tomorrow. Long
Well, what are you
sleeve.
going to wear? What did he tell you to wear?
Oh, he had a green light on wearing long sleeves tomorrow. I really don't think that's
Green
that.
light?
Yeah, it's like he had the green light for long sleeves. Didn't need a coat though. Red light on coat. Just long sleeves tomorrow. I don't think this guy's in position to tell me what to wear.
Yeah, really. How do you know how hot natured I am?
You guys know I'm soft. I'm rolling probably down jacket Monday.
Wow, that is pretty bad. Eric Robert Rudolph is still alive, by the way.
No, he's not.
Well, according to Wikipedia. Hey, so
Let's hang him.
you know what I fear about Lance's weather forecast there is, I've got to leave tomorrow night to go do the zone, and my wife will turn the heat on when it gets that cold. So
I thought you were going to say driving up a hill in the ice.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something about the ice too, Jay. Can't make it tonight. Got ice.
No,
on the
I'm
driveway.
just
Hey, I love that. I'm looking at this. YouTube's got the option that I can watch Boise and Colorado State and Montana, Idaho on a split screen right now.
Woo, boy, how do you say no to that?
You
Lance?
can. Have you been using your split screen?
Well, it's been retraining. So I've got the fiber people coming out Monday because Spectrum sucks. So I'm about to be done with Spectrum, Direct TV, all this kind of stuff. I got like transitions in life all over the place. But with that said, it's about to be done. I'm not going to have to worry about that anymore.
Hey,
I don't think.
do we have that engagement, that speaking engagement thing we have to do Sunday? Is that this
Yeah.
Sunday?
Not this Sunday, a week from Sunday.
Right.
A week from Sunday. There's not another chance of rain, Brown, for the next 6 days.
All right, what's that mean?
It's just great golf weather.
Oh, it is great
But
golf.
I have a doctor's appointment Monday. I got one
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Michael says he's got friends that love me on the zone. Friends up where? Up there that love you on the zone.
Michael's Michael is our ultimate hype man. He never
He
says
is.
anything negative, which I love. And I also love the fact that we've got a lot of like diehards that are in the chat room. They go back and forth. They like
Yeah.
us, they hate us, they call us out. Which I
Jay
don't.
Price says YouTube TV has been great. Chase P says, I just wish we could pick our 4 screens. That is the one thing I disliked about Sunday Ticket on there.
Right.
Is you get a pretty wide selection of screens, but specifically last Sunday I couldn't find the exact combination I wanted.
I same way with me. Like I wish I could, I had the ABC game on the main screen and Auburn in my quad box on one of my TVs tonight, because I couldn't get North Carolina, Miami in my quad box and Auburn on one of my main screens.
Yeah.
So in order for me to do all the quad games I wanted, I had to put North Carolina, Miami on one of my big screens with USC and Notre Dame on another big screen. And then I rolled watching Air Force, Wyoming, Auburn, LSU, Missouri, Kentucky, and UTSA, UAB. And then I switched it a little bit to Louisville and Pitt. And was a good night, though. Good TV.
Hey, if I may step in, though, if your Dolphins, Bucks, or my Rams aren't playing, what you do is you set it with the so the 4 are up, and then you set your other TVs outside of those 4.
Well, I can do that, but see, when my Dolphins are playing, like on one of them, I've got the quad box, and then the other one, there's like only one local game left, and like all the quad boxes that I wanted involve the Dolphins. Well, I already got the Dolphins on my main screen. I don't need that in a quad box. See what I'm saying?
I turned off all the other TVs when the Bucks are playing.
Do you really?
You don't.
Yep, I do. Honest to goodness,
Bullshit.
I do. I just watched that one. It's
Well, I've
so
got
much,
a buddy.
it's so much better.
My buddy Jacob's a huge Titans fan, and when the game isn't on 42, he'll come over here and watch, and I'll give him one of the side screens. I'll put the Titans on.
Yeah.
So, Dunaway, if you're on a date night with Pastor Maggie, do you turn off your DMs?
Yes. But I turned off the quad box today.
What is the fucking quad box?
When I on one of my TVs, I had 4 screens going to YouTube, but when the Tennessee, Texas A&M and the Washington, Oregon game was going so good, I turned off all the 4 other games. I just focused on those 2 and really stopped watching Tennessee, Texas A&M for a bit because that's how good Washington, Oregon was. Yeah. Sometimes you can have too much on.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. NH3.
I don't. So, Brown, you've said this before, and I've thought about this. So now I have the ability to watch 12 games in my place right now.
You can't do that. Yeah.
You can't. But here's what I think: you focus on 2 main games.
Yeah.
And you've got the other things to sample. It's almost like a ticker.
I
want to check out what Missouri, Kentucky's doing. I'm just going to see score. Then I'm going back to my 2 games.
Yeah. We were asked this a lot in the pregame. Have I seen video of Rob Gronkowski talking about playing for Miami? He just said he would love to play. It was, I think it was on with Ryan Russillo, and said he would love to play for Mike McDaniel's offense.
Wait, Ryan Russillo's still alive?
Yeah. He does a podcast that I think does pretty well actually for ESPN. But he said he'd like to play for Mike McDaniel. I don't know. So Daniel Jeremiah thinks they're going to try Chase Claypool at tight end. So I don't know that. I don't think I would want Gronk. Would I want Gronk?
No,
not now.
Here's what I would say about you've got so many weapons right now. Key to your team is just keeping Tua upright. And I had a discussion with a buddy today that was over here, and we were talking about Kansas City. He's like, I can guarantee Kansas City's AFC Championship game. And I'm like, you can't. Because I think Miami and Buffalo are that good. I do think Baltimore is going to get better. Cincinnati, they're able to hang around right now at 2 and 3. There are so many good teams in the AFC. You just can't say that.
Yeah. Well, in Miami, I mean, as it pertains to Miami, they get Kansas City and Germany, and it's Kansas City's home game, so they don't have to go to Arrowhead. So if it came down to a tiebreaker, I mean, Miami's got a much better chance of beating them in Germany than they do at Arrowhead.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to win that. But, I mean, they're going to make sure. Well, no, they're just going to make sure KC wins it.
No, I don't believe that. That's what all you gamblers say about it.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I saw a meme tonight of him sucking off Kansas City, and I was like, that looks legitimate.
You know what my college-age daughter said, my 19-year-old daughter today? She said, you know what is so annoying? I said, what? She goes, how much the NFL is pushing Taylor Swift. That's a college-age daughter.
I saw your daughter last night, and she is a very, very smart, intelligent girl. And not that she's a huge NFL girl. She knows. I mean, if you've got any kind of common sense, you kind of know what's going on.
Yeah. She said she opened the ESPN app. She's in a fantasy league. And she opened the ESPN app to check her team. And she said the ESPN app, the first story was a video of Brittany Mahomes Swift. And she's like, it's not about the game. She's like, they're celebrating a play that Travis Kelce made, and they don't even talk about the play. They're talking about those two hugging. She's like, who really cares?
Well, I'm almost like, did they put like, something in their ear, and the producer's like, okay, girls, get ready. When we say celebrate, y'all jump up and down.
No, they have a camera, I'm sure, that's just trained on the box.
Yeah, waiting for anything, right?
Yeah. By the way,
I didn't want to bring this up, but I will.
Oh, hang on. What are you showing us, Dunaway?
That's my picks early. Look at that, man. I'm green. Great picks early on. Then you go red. Horrible day for me picking. That's that office pool I'm in, LT, that I was so good one year. Not this year, my friend.
Not this year?
Nope. I was a cool 11-15 today.
Wow.
Against the spread.
What's good? Ask odds on Tua making it to November healthy. Dunaway, don't comment. I think, okay, you know what he's doing, Lance. You've watched the Dolphins a little bit. They're getting the ball out so quick. He's not getting touched hardly. Rarely do they get a hand on him just because the ball's out so quick.
Yeah. Look, Mike McDaniels, there are some of the best play callers in the history of football right now in the NFL. Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel, Sean McVay. But the way McDaniel calls a game, like, we're going to make sure he doesn't get hit. And there's so many weapons out there right now. And that's right. I would say that within a second and a half, he's releasing the football on average. I don't know that for a fact, but I would say that's about right.
Yeah. He's getting it out quick. No, we're not going to get to some of those comments there.
Ask me anything.
No. I'm honestly ready to go to bed, to be honest with you.
Do it.
I'm not. I'm about to tee up a movie.
What are you going to watch?
So we started so bad.
Jerry Maguire.
No, fuck no. So
you know what Jennifer's hooked on is Golden Bachelor. Watches it every week.
I really wouldn't mind seeing that. If I had some good edibles, the only edibles I've gotten, I've given to maybe future sister-in-law. So I'm going to be good tonight. Just have a couple of bourbons. But last night we came in, and my oldest brother had never seen Wolf of Wall Street, so we put it on. And Jack tells me it's his favorite movie, and I'm like, "You're 16. I really don't want to hear that, but whatever." So we start watching it. The movie is filthy. Have you guys seen it?
Oh yeah. It's probably the filthiest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it's the most F-bombs in the history of cinema.
Yeah. I thought it was quite a bit over the top, but it may have been realistic. I don't know.
Well, it was based Jordan Belfort. I mean, it's based on his true story, and the guy could sell all that kind of stuff. So there's interesting angles to it, and whatever you can handle, I get it. But we were watching that last night, and he fell asleep. So we decided that we would reintroduce it tonight, but he went to sleep again. Yeah. So I really don't know. I don't know which way to go. I thought watch Boise State and Colorado State.
Oh, that's a terrible game right now. It got delayed because they had to haul somebody off. I thought that was maybe Margot Robbie at her absolute best, though, in that movie.
Oh, if you're so we've got to do a glamour shot. We're gonna pimp her out on one of these apps. Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah, I thought that was prime Margot Robbie in that movie.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. And my son did the same. And my son's getting way too old. Yeah, the stuff he's saying is makes me feel like that I'm getting old. The AARP or again or whatever.
I thought it was Jonah Hill, one of his best roles.
His best role ever.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio gets a lot of praise for his role in there. And I thought he was very good, but I think he's had many better roles than that. But some people say that was his best acting of all time. I
would say DiCaprio, a top 3 performance from him. Yeah. I mean, The Revenant, he was great, and a lot of people say he was given the Oscar for that.
Shutter Island.
Yeah, Shutter Island, Departed. I mean, he's got a lot. Aviator. But what Jonah Hill did in that movie was incredible.
No, he was phenomenal. Great. But no, have you seen it, Dunaway?
No.
I think you would enjoy it. It's a good
Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have seen it.
No, Mango Days there, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Well,
man, you got that old Mango Days going. What are you watching?
At this point, I'm watching San Diego State and Hawaii.
You know what I just saw?
Why?
I
Do you
just
get
saw.
mybookie.ag deep hole?
It's just over there.
I worried about you today. Like you opened up that account a couple of days ago, and I thought about you today because little T called me. Did I tell you all this earlier?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So when she called me, I thought about Dunaway. I was like, damn, he's gonna get in a bad situation. Anyway.
No.
Jim's far more
We
responsible.
We can't.
You know what I've learned? Just sitting here the last 5 minutes, Fox 6 has got 7 meteorologists. Why do you need 7? Dunaway, you used to work in TV. Why do you need 7 meteorologists? They just ran a
Because
commercial.
my God, they go first weather, then they take weather before they take their first break, then they do weather when they come back,
And they're on pretty much all day, aren't they?
then they do weather,
Yeah.
then they
The
do
only
their
reason I have
last weather.
7 is where one can get it right. It's like today's going to be mild. It's going to be a little hazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little rainy. It's
Yeah.
going to be cold. They can't get it right.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this might not be the day you want to make that joke, Lance.
Boy, what happened?
No, I'm just saying about the weather people can't get their predictions right. I'm just saying of all the days for you to make it, this might not.
Wow, is that a lock?
I don't know what happened. Did something happen today? I've been in the house. I haven't left. I left to look up at the.
I'm making fun of your locks today, Lance. I was just making a joke about your locks.
Yeah. The locks weren't good today.
Yeah.
And I own that. I told you I'm transparent.
I know you do. It was just a joke. I didn't think I was going to have to explain it.
Now, I will tell you this, though. I thought for a second, 8M looked good. I thought Washington was a good spot. And I was like, we're about to blow this out early.
Yeah.
And then we shit the bed. Happens. One play tomorrow.
When A&M got that turnover from Joe Milton and they put a drive together.
You talking about the end zone?
Yeah. And they put a drive together and they missed the field goal. That's when I knew it was trouble. Because when they were driving, I'm like, yeah, this is A&M's actually got some offense going here. They look pretty good.
I'll tell you this. If I was an A&M backer, I would ask Jimbo the last 2 weeks because somebody asked him, who was on the broadcast last week, Alabama and A&M?
That's Gary Danielson.
Yeah, CBS game, yeah.
So who was sideline?
Jenny Dell.
Jenny Dell.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
So Jenny Dell asked him, why did you decide to be so conservative and not try to get points before that? He's like, well, we were up, so we felt we were good. Same situation today. In today's college football, you can't do that. You can't do it against Alabama. Can't do it against Tennessee. He did it, got burned both times. And if I'm an A&M fan, I hate people losing their jobs. Jimbo's going to be fine for the rest of his life. He already is.
Yeah.
But his ass has got to go. And if I'm an A&M fan, I demand it. Gone.
Yeah. What's good? Ask why is it Fox showing the Falcons? The Commanders at the Falcons is a CBS game, and CBS is showing Carolina at Miami because they get Bryce Young against Tua, even though that at least Vegas thinks it's going to be a beatdown. So that's actually a CBS 42 decision there, not a Fox decision. In the early game, you're getting New Orleans at Houston on Fox. So there's your answer to that. Do you like Miami? I think they're favored are they favored 14.5?
Yeah.
That's your 10-unit lock tomorrow?
No, it's not. I am I don't know how excited you guys get about the NFL schedule outside of your teams. Like, I love watching NFL football. Not as much as college now. When we first started the show together, I told you guys Sundays were better for me, but now I enjoy Saturdays more. But there's so many good games tomorrow. So excited about this. There is zero chance your Dolphins lose.
Oh,
they're not. If Carolina rolls in there, defeated Carolina and beats Miami, I would be blown.
Biggest upset of the NFL season so far.
So far, yeah. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And I'm nervous about Arizona coming into SoFi.
Arizona's played well at times this year.
They're scrappy.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, do we have any questions for me that I hadn't seen? I will take anything. Anything.
Nothing.
I will answer anything. Anything.
You said that nobody's asked you anything.
Cool.
And everybody thinks Jim's checked out. Everybody,
I look so white right now. Like
Dunaway is done.
yeah.
My guy Jim is struggling. Jim looking more out of it than LT right now.
Like I can't even tell if
Yeah.
my eyes are open.
Yeah.
Hey, so the headline was Brian's song.
Brian's song. Yeah, it was about Brian Ferentz. Let's just leave it at that. Brian's song about Brian Ferentz.
Man, Dunaway, whose dick is that?
You can probably figure out the rest. Who was the first coach fired, LT? First coach fired, college football. Obviously, we've had Mel Tucker already, so we'll eliminate him.
And Pat
I would,
Fitzgerald.
And Pat Fitzgerald.
Yeah. So you guys know I don't love Lane Kiffin. I think he's a perfect fit for Ole Miss. He's a better coach than Jimbo Fisher. He was fired on a tarmac. I know right now Jimbo Fisher, that buyout is crazy. He's done. Like I am on the phone. You know those dudes are drinking Branch and Rye right now, and they're like, we have got to win a championship. Everybody else is winning championships. We got to figure this out. Get rid of him, whatever it costs. You get like 10 billionaires. How many billionaires did you say are in America right now? It's a lot.
Over 400, I think.
Yes, Jesus Christ. And you know that 40 of those are Texas A&M guys. So,
Exactly.
yeah, you just give like a couple of million each and just get his ass out of there. But
I can't really find. I'm just scrolling through looking at teams that have struggled. I can't really find anybody else that would even remotely be on the midseason firing hot seat right now.
I
One
tell
of the
you who's
newest billionaires is Reese Witherspoon.
I'll tell you, it's going to be a problem. Hey, have y'all ever had a bully stick?
I don't know.
These things smell like dick.
What are they supposed to be? Are they for dogs?
Yeah.
Jerry asked, should Sam Pittman get another year? I do think it's, I know he just lost by 3 in Tuscaloosa, but I do think it's going to start to close in on him. He's 2-5 Dunaway. So, I mean, it's going to be tough for them to get 4 wins this year.
Sam Pittman would win a national championship at A&M.
No, he would not.
He probably wouldn't. But
How about,
he'd be in
No,
better
it's a bit of an
spot
overstatement.
than-
how about today was Nick Saban's 200th win at Alabama?
Isn't that
Who would have
crazy?
ever thought he'd have been there that long?
I know, 200 wins. Somebody, so they said it's second most all time at Alabama. I'm assuming, obviously, Bryant. How many has he got there? Do you know, Dunaway?
Who, Bryant?
Yeah, I think he won like 230 at Alabama.
232.
I thought
Is that it?
You think that's it?
That's it.
Yeah, I think Lance is right about that. It's
Don't
somewhere in
count
that
me
area.
on this shit.
Hmm.
232.
I don't know if Saban.
By the
gets-
way, Saban ain't passing that.
I was about to say, I don't know. Well, you got him retiring at the end of the year.
He's done it.
You don't think you get 32 more? That's just that's 3 years, and that's just 3 years in a Jimbo.
3 years of 10-win football.
Yeah.
Now, y'all can disagree with me on my prediction that he's done this year. There's no chance he's 3 more years.
Paul says it's 224, so he's 24 away.
I believe
Oops.
Paul.
Dang, man. I hate it when that thing goes that quick. Bear is two.
Oh, look, there's the 4K. Are you got 3340 up again?
Yeah, I
He's
do.
saying umbrella no, sunglasses no, jacket light. Come on, dude. Don't tell me that shit.
I'm going to text Jamie Hale. She's the sports anchor right now.
He's telling me I don't need sunglasses tomorrow. It's sunny and breezy, dude. I wear sunglasses anytime I damn want to. It's America.
Hey, where did Corey Hart wear his sunglasses?
At
At
night.
night.
I mean,
At
come
night.
on. You tell him that is a waste of airtime. That old man is watching this. Don't wear sunglasses.
I don't even know who this guy is.
I don't either.
I don't think, you know, Span does Sunday nights when I'm up there doing the zone. Span does it. So I don't
This guy looks like you pulled him out of doing the weather for the Phi Muse in Tuscaloosa.
Hey, could you
I'll text Jamie Hale and find out.
could
who-
you blindfold me with a piece of floss right now?
Yes, you could. I don't know how you're going to make it through a movie.
Brandon, you're the only pupils we can see on this whole show.
I know, and I'm the one that's ready to go to bed. I've said it for 30 minutes. I'm ready to go to bed.
Not my ass.
And I
Hey,
know
let's go karaoke right now, motherfucker.
you're gonna wake up. You're gonna sit around and watch a movie.
I am. I'm good. I'm pumped. It's Rams Eve. We lose, season's gone. We win, we're 3-3.
Wow.
You think we have a chance to be 4-1 tomorrow? The Buccaneers.
I kind of like you guys tomorrow.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Don't get my hopes up. All right, guys.
All
That's
right.
it, man.
7 a.m. Monday, Dunaway and Louisville. Lance and I join him at 9. Lance'sLight.com, a 10-unit play in the NFL tomorrow. How much he loves it. A 10-unit play in the
That's the only play we're going with. One play.
Only play.
Wow.
Only play.
We
All right.
lose that, I disappear. I'm going to probably going to go
Costa
to,
Rica.
I don't know, Nicaragua, something like that.
All right. I
Well,
will go
please tell me it's not the Jets because you crashed the plane tonight.
I hope you have an aneurysm tonight, dickhead.
All right. We'll see you boys. 7 a.m. for Dunaway, 9 for me and Lance. Everybody have a nice Sunday.
See
Enjoy.
ya.